everyone, this was an exciting week with a lot of news going on for you, especially in the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is becoming a trend. Welcome to the weekly flyby. Amoeba Games has released a set of tools for Sims, but one of the most impressive ones for me is their AGHTM library, which allows everyone to build their own transport missions in DCS. AGHTM is a mission building framework that Amoeba Games developed to facilitate rapid building of helicopter transport missions that follow a basic premise. So it's a quick and easy way to create said missions by the use of a pre-made mission template, but you can also build missions entirely from scratch or even overlay them on top of an existing mission. The goal of this tool is to provide everyone, even those that are not mission builders or have never written a single line of code, the ability to create this with all of the wiring, messaging, voiceovers, navigation, radio beacons, etc. already working and with very little effort. On top of this, Amoeba Games has also released a few missions for the Mi-24, Mi-8, UH-1H and the community mod UH-60. Each helicopter has a pack of missions that consist of you flying through a few waypoints to transport something or someone around. It's a great way for you to hone your navigation skills and not to be worried about weapon systems. It is all about flying. I have flown a few of these, mainly using GUI and the Black Hawk, so I could try with an official module and a mod, and I had a lot of fun. The missions are not complex at all, but they are very pleasing, and the ones I flew took me about 45 minutes or so to fly. One of them was closer to 1 hour, but I think that was mostly because I took my time to enjoy the route. Amoeba Games calls it a framework, and here is how the framework part of this works. First of all, you will need one or more of the pre-made mission template bundles. Once you watch the videos on their website, you will understand what templates are, how you can edit them themselves to make your own, and even how to populate them so that they are a bit more immersive. The templates let you cheat into developing your own missions, as it already has a lot of the basic stuff you need. Waypoints, beacons, etc. So you don't have to worry about that yourself. You will just have to find a good area, drag some elements around, and you are good to go. Then all you need to do is populate the map a bit more to make it more realistic and immersive and tell your story. The AGHTM framework will not remove the work of going through the mission editor. You will still need to do it, but it will reduce your workload a lot. Now, while the framework is a bit different from what I am used to see as a developer, this doesn't mean it's not very complex and robust. In fact, Amoeba Games is developing its own actual code library, which they will be releasing further down the road, and it's what is powering everything behind the templates. But right now, all you need to do is edit those missions and, as I said before, tell your story. You can check everything out at the official website. Check the video description. VIRPIL has announced a new joystick base with a clutch, the VPC WarBRD-D. The new family member will allow for the removal of the centering spring without the stick falling to the side, making it another alternative for helicopters. When people ask me about a joystick or a joystick base for helicopters, the VIRPIL VPC Mongoose T50 CM3 is always on the short list I send to those who ask, not only because of the quality of the base, but also because of the clutch system, which allows us to remove the pesky centering spring. In case you are wondering why we would do that, the quick answer is that it allows you to better control helicopters since you are not fighting the stick. And in reality, there's no actual center in a cyclic. VIRPIL has been releasing some great products with options, the clutch on the CM3 being one of them, and the company has now announced they will be releasing a new version of the younger brother of the T50 CM3, the VPC WarBRD. The VPC WarBRD-D builds on top of the previous version, and VIRPIL has added a clutch system. We don't have any more details at this time or an estimated date of release, but it's great to have yet another option for our helicopter virtual cockpits. Stay tuned, as we will let you know more as soon as we find out ourselves. After the amazing Victoria Falls scenery from Microsoft Flight Simulator, Jepson 2001 brings us the famous and almighty Niagara Falls. Waterfalls are something that always gets my attention, and it's not usually well depicted in Sims, but Jepson 2001 has surprised me with his Victoria Falls scenery, and he is now working on Niagara Falls. But not just the falls, he is also including the heliport and other things around it. Jepson 2001 has released a video showing off the area, and there's really not a lot more I can say about it really. I couldn't make it any justice. The amount of stuff I did to it is fantastic, and just look at the falls, they are absolutely beautiful. According to Jepson 2001, Niagara Falls and Niagara Heliport should be available mid-April. FlyBy Productions has announced two new helicopters for Microsoft Flight Simulator, the H120 and the AS350. The team is working on these two new helicopters and they sent us some screenshots and work-in-progress images. After the release of their work-in-progress Gazelle, FlyBy Productions rolled up their sleeves and they started working on two new projects. And they have confirmed that they are in fact developing an AS350, which is already flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the H120 Colibri. The company will be present at Flight Sim Expo later this year, where they will be showing the AS350. The team also already indicated that this bird will be a payware project with custom lighting, doors, a camera system, and a rescue version. The goal is to have a working sling and winch, and this model should be released later this year. The AS350 will be the B3, and the avionics are being coded through WASM, which is Microsoft Flight Simulator's plugin system, quote, just like the real thing, end quote. The company admits that not all planned features may be present on the first released version, but they will be updating and adding those for free over time. The H120, on the other hand, is not in the sim yet, so while we do know the AS350 will come later this year, we'll still don't know when a Colibri will be released yet, but probably in 2024. Fred Naar, the name behind Airland FS and HTR helicopter total realism, has drastically upped the scale of what Airland Helicopters was supposed to be. It has been quite some time since we last heard about Airland Helicopters, but there is big news. First of all, Airland Helicopters is still happening, but in a slightly different form. Fred has announced that there's now a sandbox platform called Airland World, which will allow everyone to create their own games and experiences anywhere on Earth. Airland World will bring templates that we can use to start our project for different genres such as flight simulators, driving games, action RPGs, survival games, first-person shooters, etc. The world will be fully editable and both Lua and C++ code will be possible to use as well. The platform will also have its own marketplace so everyone can sell their creations through the Airland store. A closed alpha of this product is planned for June 2023. As for Airland Helicopters, that is going to be a product built on top of Airland World. See it as a mod, a module or an add-on, whatever you want to call it. As previously planned, you will play the role of a rescue pilot in New Zealand's diverse and challenging landscape, and we will be allowed to walk, drive and fly across the island to perform several rescue missions in single or multiplayer. To help new helicopter pilots, it will feature both arcade and simulation modes. It will also be possible to expand it through a DLC system to cover other vehicles and areas of the world. The release of Airland Helicopters, or at least a beta, is planned for 2024. You can learn more about Airland World and Airland Helicopters on the official website. Just check the link in the video description. Cowan Simulation has released the H125 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. One of the best known and popular helicopters in the world is now represented in the sim through a payware product by Joshua Cowan. Joshua continues to bring his helicopters to Microsoft Flight Simulator. The Bell 206 and the 500E are already in the sim, and as promised, the H125 is now out. The model uses Microsoft's helicopter engine, and the VEMD was completely coded by Joshua's team. You can check the full list of features on our website, and of course you can get Cowan Simulation H125 from Microsoft Flight Simulator at the company's website. You guessed it, links are in the video description. There's not a lot more to say, really, just go get it. It's a fantastic helicopter. Do you have an nagging feeling that you might be missing out on important news? We have a solution. Our weekly Flyby video playlist includes all the highlights from previous weeks so you can stay informed and up to date. Take a look and see what you may have missed out. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care and fly safe.